Hey everybody, Greg Harris here with Leapfrog Landcare. It is September. It is aeration and seeding time for fescue grass. You may be asking, do I need to aerate and seed this year, or do I need to aerate at all? Well, let me go ahead and tell you this, because I've had several folks ask this about their warm season lawns. If you have Bermuda, if you have Zoysia, Centipede, St. Augustine, I would not in any circumstance aerate this time of year. That type of grass is getting ready to go dormant. If you do the aeration and punch the holes in the soil, that's great for the soil, but it's bad for a grass that's getting ready to go to sleep. You always want to aerate when it's time to, when a grass is going into its growing season. So aeration time frame for the warm season lawns, usually late May, June, even into July time frame is great. But fescue, you don't want to do those that time of year, but you do want to do fescue now, September and October here in North Carolina. And with fescue, even if you've got a good stand of it, do you still need to aerate? Well, I'm pushing a soil probe that's meant to go into the ground, and putting my weight on it pretty good, and I am barely getting 2.5 inches into the soil. We have in this part of North Carolina, our soil is basically clay, rock, and roots. So that's not the best situations for grass seed to grow. With this clay, you can see this is it is tight. I mean, it's crazy how tight it is. When you aerate, you're pulling these plugs out, and I mean, you can just see, oh, I'm getting this one a little lot deeper. There, I found a good spot. But look at that. We got a little bit of dark soil up top. That's because we did a compost top dressing, a light compost top dressing here last year. But then all this down low is really hard compacted clay. Clay is crazy for pottery folks. You can that's what they make pottery out of, the mugs and bowls and everything, because clay gets so tight that it sometimes it won't let water in, it won't let nutrients in, won't let oxygen in, and these grass roots, they need to be able to get down. The deeper the grass root will go, the more hardy that grass will be. So even a year where fescue may have done well for you, we still recommend aeration seeding, not because we're wanting to make money from it. I mean, we appreciate being able to do that and offer that service to you, but turf grass professors at the universities that study that, they even recommend, if you have clay soil, every year you need to aerate and overseed your fescue just to regenerate new growth, to open up the soil to where water, nutrients, fertilizer, food, oxygen can get into the root system of that plant. You may even have parts of your property where if you got kids that go out and play all the time, or even just a simple little walking path, even a walking path of a dog, after a while that area gets so hard you can't hardly put a shovel into it. And if you've got clay soil. So basically aerating is loosening up the soil, getting the oxygen, again, nutrition and water being able to get into the soil, and that helps a ton. So should you aerate and reseed fescue? Yes, you should. Every year, whether you need it or not, is still recommended because you do need it. You just may not know that you need it. But if you try and poke a hole in the ground, you're going to realize, man, this stuff is tight and it needs to be loosened up. So aerate and seed fescue September, October. Warm season grass is going to be more of an aeration in May, June, early July time frame. I hope that information helps.